Welcome back, everybody. I'm ONH, and this is my newest episode of What's It Worth, where I'm going to be reviewing Alien Resurrection. Yeah. Let's just get it over with. So the synopsis of Alien Resurrection is it's set 200 years after the Alien trilogy, and Ripley has been cloned along with the alien queen inside her. When Ripley is reborn, she's not the same person that you remember. She is basically a hybrid of human and xenomorph. Not physically as much as psychologically. She's more like the aliens. The only physical attributes is she has the acid for blood, the physical strength, their speed, their agility. She can sense things that human beings can't. The alien test subjects that are actually in captivity eventually break free and wreak havoc on the space station. So in order to battle these creatures, Ripley teams up with a band of smugglers that are also trapped on the ship, and they all have to figure out a way to stop the aliens from reaching Earth. So for Alien Resurrection, the only thing I could put into words about that movie was, what in the fuck were you people thinking when you made this movie? Seriously. This film was just a victim of bad writing. And this film flopped so bad that even the writer Joss Whedon went like, you know what, we're just going to pretend that never happened at all. I'll just go back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So this film, the fact that it was made by somebody who barely spoke English and just has a reputation for making these like kind of goofy kind of movies, goofy foreign films, it makes you go like, is somebody's head up their ass for the warp? Seriously. I mean, the only good thing about the film was the underwater sequence when the humans have to. There's one part they have to try to get to their ship. In order to do that, the whole, I guess it's the dining area, the kitchen area, they have to go underwater and try to swim up to where they're supposed to go. And they're being hunted by xenomorphs underwater, which that's one of the most terrifying elements of this film, but it's the only good thing of the whole damn movie. Otherwise, I mean, some of the visual effects isn't bad. I mean, this film used CGI only for parts that they couldn't pull off either underwater or just in general, which that part I'm completely okay with. Which that was another downside of this film, is the aliens, they no longer had the Giger-esque look that made the creature so memorable in the first place. On top of that, they aren't as scary or as terrifying as they originally were back then. And of course, the one thing that ruined this entire film is when they introduced a new kind of alien called the Newborn. This thing, I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, it's like they could have just created something entirely more terrifying. But with the Newborn, I just went like, it was just an ugly Muppet. I mean, it's like, if it was put in another sci-fi film, I would consider it scary, but this thing, I just went, what? Now, the other biggest downer of the film is the fact they made it too funny. When you're making it a comedy, it's like, it takes away what made Aliens so successful. I mean, it's okay to crack a few jokes here and there, but this whole film was just filled with gags, and it was like they made it too funny. I guess it was just they were trying to make up for how depressing Alien 3 was, and it just flopped so bad that, in my book, just brought down the entire franchise.
Well, what I could say is the only upside to Alien Resurrection is that this film did not ruin anybody's career because of the results of this film. You know, Sigourney Weaver still got to be in acting. Winona Ryder got, she's still in movies leading all the way up to Stranger Things. Ron Perlman got to be Hellboy. Brad Dourif is still Chucky. I mean, even Joss Whedon is still writing. Even got to write the first two Avengers films. So that's the only good thing. But above all, yes, fuck this movie.
Now, you're probably thinking, why the fuck would they even agree to film this? Well, that was because at the time there was actually two different versions of the film being written. One is the Joss Whedon script that we saw, and then there's another version that another writer, I forgot his name, I'm going to look it up someday, he wrote his own script, except it was called Alien Earthbound. That film sounded so intense when it was described on YouTube. I just went, why didn't they wait for this guy to finish this draft? Because this is way better than the Resurrection draft. Now, if I was a time traveler, I would go back in time and help this guy finish his script and try to beat Joss Whedon's script from reaching the Fox store. I'm sorry. And with Alien Resurrection, low price. This film's getting a low price. This film brought down the franchise so bad. Every time I watch this film, I never want to see another Alien movie again. Okay, so I'm done with reviewing Alien Resurrection, finally. So stay tuned for the next episode. Please hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you just feel like leaving one. I'm Owen H, and signing out.